to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care, Santa Clarita Hearing Center, and Traditions Healthcare Hospice. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Dr. Jean Dorio,
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And speaking of seniors, the one and only Kevin Macdonald, CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center, is here.
Great to be with you. Good morning.
Good. How are
welcome.
you?
Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So you have a couple of little things you wanted to talk about before we get started.
Oh, well, I'm here to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Well, you said something about some thank you letters or something?
Yeah, we just have some really nice notes that came in from the community this week. And I thought it'd be nice to share them from seniors who are out there in the trenches.
Yes.
And it's scribbly notes. There's nothing on a computer. This is to the senior center and the volunteers. Just a little note to thank all of you for helping me when I was not able to go out there and get food or even standing up. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for every deed and the food and for your kindness. And that was from Aisha. And that was nice.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh, wow.
And I have one more to share with you. To those working and volunteering at the Senior Center, thank you so much for all your generosity, hard work, time, energy during this hard time. It's extremely inspiring and admirable knowing that there's a community in Santa Clarita giving up time and effort, serving those in need, serving the most in need. It makes the world a better place because of your dedication. May you all stay safe and healthy during this time. Together, we will overcome this. And that's best wishes.
Well, that's the epitome of what the service that is being provided in Santa Clarita by an organization that stands, I believe, above every single organization. We have great ones here in Santa Clarita, but for the moment and the time, especially for our older adults, we need to have the senior center. And this senior center, Kevin, as you know, is built on the top of shoulders of many people in Santa Clarita, Barbara included, and her husband, Russ, from the very beginning, as well as so many others that have been in the trenches, assuring that the senior voice is heard, let alone seniors being taken care of. So I look at those letters as a little ounce of the appreciation that is out there as well. And there is way more than that. So thank you to the writers, of course, but mainly thank you to the Senior Center for its presence and everything that they do for our community. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Those two little letters, they were heartfelt. They really were. Mm-hmm. You could tell the way you were reading them and the way they were written to you. It kind of brings tears to my eyes. But there are so many seniors in our community. I mean, we have a very, very large senior community. Mm-hmm. And it's getting bigger and bigger because we're all living longer.
Right.
Because we're all taking better care of ourselves.
Yeah. But as you know from those notes, it's a very grateful population here.
Oh.
And I think that's the one thing that stands out with me during this pandemic is the gratitude that our volunteers and our staff receive from the senior community. You don't always get that back when you try to do good. But boy, the senior community here, so much gratitude, whether it's a sign on their cars as they're going through a drive-through or multitude of notes or just it's really, really nice to see that gratitude come back. And it really inspires all of us in our daily work.
Yeah, it does. It makes you want to go to work, want to do what you're doing, as well as all of the employees who work for you and work for this community and these seniors.
Yeah, we have 87 employees and we have 115 volunteers working and volunteering, and it's nice to see that feedback, and we share the feedback and the gratitude with all of them because they get up every morning to do good, and that's nice.
Two of my very dear friends have been volunteering, Bill and Darlene Lyons.
Yes.
They've
Lion.
been
Yep.
volunteering for years at the senior center, and they love it. I mean, they'll get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get there at 5.
At least Arlene will.
Well, yeah, that's true. At least are we?
Well,
Bill may be
let me ask
plodding
you
along a little slower.
let me ask you a question though, Kevin. That's really on the minds of many seniors in Santa Clarita, and this is not a decision that comes from the senior center or even the city of Santa Clarita, but vaccinations for seniors is important. And for those who want that vaccination, some of them are having a hard time obtaining them. Is there any point out there that you can see, Kevin, that the county may have discussed with you that our senior center might be able to be a center, a small center for inoculation?
Yes, and we've offered that months ago before, as the vaccines were coming out. We told the county and the state that we were here and available. If they need us, we stand ready to help out with the vaccinations. We haven't been called upon yet, and I believe we'll be somewhere along in the process that they will call upon us. But the county called a couple of weeks ago. We've gotten other inquiries from other healthcare providers saying, could you do this? And our answer, as you can imagine, is always yes. Yes, we're here to serve. We have an incredibly good drive-through service right now for lunch, and that can be adapted to vaccines. So we're waiting for the call. I just don't know when to anticipate it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Speaking of vaccines, my second shot is tomorrow at Magic Mountain. And I'll go into that line that goes up and down and up and down and up and down.
Back and forth.
But at least it moves. And once you get there, the shot is right now. And they move you down a little way from the shooting area, and you have to stay there for 15 minutes to make sure that nothing occurs immediately. And then they'll let you go home.
Sure.
And I've heard from several people that the second shot is the one that gives you the problems in many cases. And I hope that doesn't happen to me.
But, Barbara, let me just point out, when you get the first shot, your body makes antibodies. When you get the second shot, there are the agent is in there, not the virus, but the messenger RNA is contained in the shot. And now your body already has antibodies in it with the second shot, right? So your body is going to react. And when your body reacts with a side effect, it just says that the first shot worked. So it's not great to have side effects, but a lot of people do have them. But it does say that the first shot worked, and probably the second shot will work as well.
Well, what if
So
you don't have
a
any
good
side
thing.
effects?
Well, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything either.
Okay.
Because there are many factors, and everybody is different. You're right, but good question. But you had mentioned that most people after the second shot will experience some kind of side effect, and so just tomorrow you can expect it. I wanted to ask you: you're left-handed. You drive in. Do you get the shot in your left shoulder or
Yes.
your right shoulder?
Left.
Left. Okay. Okay. Even though you're left-handed.
Well,
I got mine in.
Well,
I'm left-handed like you, as you know, and I got mine in my right arm.
oh, you did?
And really did. Yes. Yep. But see, I was the first shot. On the first shot, I was standing, so I was in a line. The second shot, I was driving, and I just swiveled around, and they gave me the shot in my right shoulder. So both shots were on my right shoulder.
Well, I'd love to see you when you swiveled around.
Not an easy task, but a reminder was to take the lap belt and the seat belt off. So, which I did. Got a little uncomfortable for a moment, but he said, "Hey, take your seatbelt off." The engine was off, so I did, and I swiveled around and got my shot. Okay. So, there were some. I personally had a little bit of a fever, got a little tired, took my Tylenol. 2 hours later, everything was gone. So everybody has a different experience, But if you have an experience, it could be a positive thing as well. But everybody is different. Some people are not taking the shot. Some people do not have access to the shot, and the supply chain is a little bit off. But Kevin, we hope that the supply chain extends to our senior center because that's important that we have that access. But tell us, I know that the senior center is not open, but we are doing some activities there that are far beyond what other senior centers in the county are doing. Can you kind of go over the bingo and the movies and things that are happening in our parking lot?
Sure. That parking lot, that Bella Vita, is just turned into something else. We're not in, the staff is in the building, but everybody else is outside. And we're so grateful with that building and Bella Vita and the community that helped build it to offer so many different things. We don't want to go past too fast. We're almost hitting 450 meals a day in the drive-through Monday through Friday. It's growing actually now. I thought it would decrease as
450.
Right. And some days higher. And then the Meals on Wheels, they hit 797 yesterday, meals delivered, and that's on a daily basis. It's an incredible service that those the Meals on Wheels drivers, you got to give them some love because 110 of them are doing that every week and getting out there and doing that. And we got Lynn Hazen and we got Lynn Schlossman in our Meals on Wheels program and all the team over there. It's really a big effort, and our cooks are in. So lots of meals going out of there. And then we offering the virtual classes. All of our classes are free. We got some great instructors. So yoga, Zumba, anything you want to do, get online, take our classes. They're free at least through June. So we're happy to offer that. And then we said, what can we do? We got this big parking lot, right? So we're offering 4 events a month. So the first Saturday of the month, we bring the comedy club in, and they bring in 6 to 7 comedians, and we were laughing like crazy last Saturday. So the first Saturday of the month is comedy, and then we got bingo, and then we have bingo after that. You can check out our website for all the details. And then we bring in a rock concert every month. We just had Doc Rockets in last weekend. Oh my goodness, we were singing and dancing for an hour and a half. Doc Rockets just did great. And then we got Blue Breeze coming up. They're going to be our March concert. So you can't get out of your cars, but boy, they're dancing and singing in their cars, and that's great. And then we do a drive-in movie every month. So we're bringing in Lady Gaga and doing A Star Is Born next weekend. February 27th. So we're excited to have that happening. And those are free, and the concerts are free. Comedy night costs you a little bit. But if you go to the website, myscvcoa.org, that's the Senior Center website, just register and come on over because we sold out the concert last week. We expect to sell out more events. So society might be loosening up, but we're going to have these drive-ins for a long time because we're having a great time with them. We're going to be offering some tax preparation through AARP for our seniors. So just so many things going on. LA Food Bank is coming this Friday. They're great people at the LA County Food Bank, and they have their service we're offering on Friday. So anything we can do for the seniors, we're trying to do for this community, and we're so pleased with our staff and volunteers. And we get some great support from the city of Santa Cruz and the county. So with those people backing you, you can do some wonderful things.
So it's myscv.org.
myscvcoa.org.
COA. A.org.
Sorry,
okay.
I should go slower.
Yes, because I didn't catch the COA.
Just to remind people also, some of the effects of the pandemics are extending and lingering, and psychologically, many seniors are experiencing loneliness and depression. But we have services at the Senior Center and the Social Service Department that will help seniors and caregivers manage these problems. And we have extended out to the community that assistance and that help. But that's important that people understand it is available at the Senior Center.
Yeah, absolutely. When I tell you there's free counseling for seniors, we need you to pick up the phone and call us. 259-9444. Call us, and our counselors are standing by to support you during this thing. And as it continues, we are there for you. And like I said, and we have a therapist on call as well. So we're there for people. If you need help with the vaccines because you're homebound, we're there for you. We'll see what we can do for you. So we want to be the end all for seniors. And if we don't have it, we're going to make sure you're connected to the right supports. And that's what our support services and Suzanne Nelson and her team is really all about.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting you're talking about Meals on Wheels. How many did you say? 540?
No, almost 800 for
Almost
Meals on Wheels.
800.
797.
And you know,
yeah.
that is one of the most rewarding things you can do, to be a Meals on Wheels driver.
But then you tell these
is-
drivers to go out in the middle of a pandemic and deliver these meals, and then you find out
Oh,
who the real
wow.
volunteers are. And right now we got 110 real volunteers in those Meals on Wheels programs. Oh my
That's
goodness.
very
Courage.
true. Well, it's called Meals on Wheels now. It used to be home delivered meals.
It's the same thing, but we've
yeah.
adopted and we're connected with Meals on Wheels America, which is a great
Well,
organization.
I urge anyone who would like to volunteer for the senior center to be a driver for those Meals on Wheels, because it's one of the most rewarding things you can do. I did it for several years, many, many years ago, and I loved it because those seniors are so happy to see you.
Yes.
They really are. I mean, the smiles on their faces. And of course, back when I did it, I delivered it to the door. You know, I don't know whether they do that now.
We do a knock and drop and keep
Knock
6
and
feet
drop.
away, and they get a delicious meal, and they get we make sure we make eye contact before we leave.
Well,
That's important.
when I used to do it, I would take the meal into
Yes.
the home.
We hope to go back to that day.
And
Someday we will.
that was just, you know,
Yeah.
sit there and talk for a few minutes. It was wonderful. It really was. It was so rewarding to know that you were appreciated, and it made me appreciate where they were, because at some point in my life I was going to be where they are,
Right.
which I am now. But but I can still cook.
So,
But you
if
never know. I may at one point need your assistance. I don't know.
what goes
you
around
know.
comes around, and those
That's-
volunteers, hopefully they'll
Yeah.
feel it, and the staff that are doing it every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. They will, because I'll never forget that time. It was one of the most rewarding volunteer positions that I have ever done. Really was.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, in addition, you mentioned, Kevin, the possibility that for those who might need a vaccine who can't leave their homes, that maybe we'll have a program at the senior center. And there are many doctors and nurses who are retired in the community that can take that up. And I know CVS has a team program right now in Santa Clarita that is run by the state, not the county, but the state and the federal government. And they're contracted with Walgreens and CVS together to be able to do so-called house calls. But it's pretty limited right now because they're not servicing those seniors who are home, who are bedridden. So we're trying to get the house called and work on the individual, and maybe we can organize something where we have the retired doctors and nurses coming together, forming a team, if we are allowed to do that, and be able to administer these to those who are disabled or at home that cannot get out, get into a car, swivel in their chair, and get their shots. So I think we need to examine and look at that as a possible another service for Santa Clarita. So we'll see what role our senior center can be involved in this.
Well, Jean, do you know of any other doctors out here who are making home calls like you do?
Other
Have
than
any of them
my
changed?
brother, no, and that's our underlying problem, and that's something that needs to be looked at economically and professionally and through government. And when we start realizing aging in place will be the substance of how we live and move toward our later life, that's going to be important as we start initiating programs. And a lot of it will be through the senior center. That's going to be automatic. But we don't have the network and the structure yet. But I look forward in the next 5 to 10 to 20 years for that aging in place to be the mantra of Santa Clarita as well as the state. And with the new master plan in place for the state of California, master plan for aging, I think we will lend ourselves and tend toward that. So I know, Kevin, our senior center, as with Meals on Wheels, will play an integral role in the health of our older adults here in Santa Clarita. And you, right now, you have risen to the occasion. And going back to the initial letters that you had written, now we can verbally say to you, thank you so much to those at the senior center, you, and the City Council and the City of Santa Clarita for having that parking lot, for having the insight that we need it. We would need this, and here we have a pandemic where it is here, and we are able to utilize all the tools that we have provided here in our community. So thank you, Kevin, for doing the job that has been allowed and given to us to help the seniors in this community. Thank you so much again, and I'll dictate that and send it to you as a letter as well.
Well, now the movie you were talking about, when is that?
That's on the 27th of February.
27th. And what time does it start?
I believe it's at 6 o'clock.
So
go to the website, check it out, and register that way, and come and see a nice drive-in movie at night.
That sounds great because my daughter comes down and usually spends the night with me one day over the weekend. So she usually makes it on a Saturday night.
Bring a senior. That's what we say. Bring a senior in your car and go have a good time.
6 o'clock. So go to the website, myscv.coa.org.
No, you have one extra dot in there. myscvcoa.org.
Oh, no extra dot. myscvcoa.org.
You got it, Barbara.
And the telephone number is 661-259-9444. Fantastic, Kevin.
That's right.
Wonderful. I'm so glad you joined us today.
Thank you for having me.
Kevin.
Great
And
to be here.
we'll see you again
Keep up
soon.
the good work.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, Kevin.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top-quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
There are many memorable restaurants in Santa Clarita, but 3 words stand out from the crowd. Mom can cook.
Mamá puede cocinar.
Mom can cook the best Thai food on this side of the planet.
Mama fait la cuisine.
No matter what language you use, Mom Can Cook says it all. Thai food at its finest, all your favorite dishes, and Mom's very own original specialties. Experience it on Soledad by the Canyon Country Post Office.
Mama 요리가 좋대요.
Mom Can Cook.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com. Located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
Fruit arranged like flowers? What a delicious idea! Edible Arrangements specializes in creating a variety of fresh fruit arrangements overflowing with fresh, hand-designed fruit and filled with strawberries, pineapple, grapes, cantaloupe, honeydew, and seasonal favorites. Made to order in a size you select and ready to eat and enjoy. You can even add chocolate to any arrangement. Edible Arrangements is always fresh, always appropriate, and always appreciated. Order yours today, 253-0052 or ediblearrangements.com. Edible Arrangements is on Soledad near Bouquet Canyon.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Good morning and welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And now we're speaking with the Honorable Myles McNamara of Comfort Keepers in Home Care. How are you?
Hey,
well,
Miles,
thank you for
how
that
are you?
intro. I'm well. Honorable? People will question that.
Well, I didn't say that.
are.
You did. What are you going to question?
You actually said that.
I know I
about
did,
anyway.
but you're questioning that?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I would not.
Well, hello, sports fans. Good to be on the show.
Okay, what is our subject today? I can't imagine.
Let's take a leap here and talk about home care.
Well, why don't we do that? I think
Well,
that's an
it's
excellent
interesting.
subject.
I know, right? Well, I always love to listen to the first half to Kevin to see what's going on at the senior center, and a lot of things revolve around the same issues that we take different angles on. But for folks that may be hiding behind a tree for decades and they don't even know what home care is, because it really is still out there that way. Because so many people come up to me after they've lost a loved one and say, "Gosh, I wish I knew you were here before Mom passed." And what folks don't realize is that a helping hand in the home is sometimes all our seniors need is to stay in their own home safely. Some decide and choose an assisted living or a board and care, but most want to stay in their own home. And our comfort keepers, they're not nurses. We're non-medical. But we can do absolutely everything else in the scope of our seniors' needs in the home with their activities of daily living, assisting them with shower and bathing, making sure they have nutritious meals, make sure they take their medications on time, get them to the doctor's appointments if needed. So, we can assist the family and the adult children who are bouncing back and forth in their busy lives to make sure Mom ate or make sure Dad took his medicine. And the biggest thing that we if we're in the home is to prevent slip and falls. So we do all the activities that are dangerous for our seniors where the most slip and falls happen, i.e. the bathroom, the kitchen. Because if our seniors fall, break their hips, head trauma, a lot of times that can be the beginning of the end. So those are really things that we focus on. But, having that peace of mind, knowing that someone is with Mom or Dad while you're at work as an adult child and checking in on them, it's instrumental. And we don't use the word caregiver very often because that instantly throws our seniors into kind of a mindset that we're nurses, they're losing their independence, they're declining or what have you. But we like to look at ourselves as personal concierge because, we all throughout life have hired folks to assist us, be it landscapers or contractors or, house cleaners, whatever. We hire people to help us along in our daily life. Well, this is just an extension of that. So, we enhance our seniors' lives in their home. We enhance their independence. We allow them to be there. They're still the boss. There's just, having us do the things that they need, be it standby assist, light housekeeping, prepping meals, what have you. So we like to look at ourselves as a concierge service that assists on all personal levels.
That's right.
And one of the important things we talked about, Miles, earlier with Kevin Macdonald was aging in place. And I do think that what Comfort Keepers does is just the tip of the iceberg where we have to go in health care for our older adults. As we progress forward, we're going to have to figure out, instead of this attitude that when a person gets older, a senior gets older, that they have to go to a nursing home, we've realized that nursing homes can be dangerous, especially if there's a pandemic. Therefore, how do we keep our seniors in their homes and age in place is going to be the big question. And Comfort Keepers, I think, in how they're understanding the needs of older adults and the structure that will be needed is getting clued in right now to be able to anticipate what that need is going to be in the future. So I think we're running parallel paths, and you and I both know we've been doing that for years. And a part of what you do helps me in caring for my patients as they age in place.
Right, and that's why I said, I love listening to the first half because Kevin and I really kind of circled the same topics, and you talked about aging in place, and I actually printed out today, I kid you not, holding in my hand, I printed out today an editorial that I've written, for the magazine of Santa Clarita and other publications because it's so important to reiterate. I know we've talked about this in the past, but it is aging with a plan. And it's like you sometimes have to sit down, and not all the topics are going to be pleasant, but they're necessary. And, there's that old cliche that people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. And so you need to sit down as a senior with your, loved ones and really discuss what that journey looks like for you so that you can share with your loved ones this is my roadmap. This is how I see me aging in place. And like I said, some folks may choose an assisted living, sometimes referred to as that cruise ship on land. But more often I see folks want to stay in their own home. And so they make the planning financially with and the most important thing that I know we've talked about a plethora of times, one of my favorite words, plethora, is that, you have to have the legal documents in place to execute your plan. So, of course, I'm talking about an advanced health care directive, and you see this all the time in the field, Dr. Dorio. How heartbreaking is it if, God forbid, one of our seniors has a stroke or does fall and hit their head and become unconscious, and now someone has to speak on behalf of that senior? Do our adult children and other loved ones want to be able to step up and do that? Or do we want to put it in the hands of the courts and a generic medical staff just making their own decisions without the input of the family? So when a senior has an advanced health care directive, and it says, and you have multiple agents, as they're called, in case of my inability to speak on my behalf, these are the folks that have the legal authority to speak for me, make medical decisions, make financial decisions, forever how long that is necessary. So I really implore folks to, and of all ages, and I know we've talked about this before, once our children turn 18, they are now legally an adult. And again, God forbid they get in a car accident and decisions have to be made for them. I can't play the dad card anymore. I can't go in and say, I'm the dad. I get to say, oh, well, do you have an advanced health care directive, Dad, that gives you the legal authority to speak for this adult? And it's just so heartbreaking when you see that happen. And as I said, I'm sure you face it on a daily basis a lot, Dr. Dorio. So I really, people have to have a plan. They have to make their map. They have to let their family know. I mean, we've seen it as detailed as what song they want to have played at their funeral. And of course that's post facto, but what does that journey look like for you, and what are your choices that you want to have done on your journey? And, it's very, very, and what it really does too is it takes the pressure and the argument and the debate away from your loved ones and your adult children. How many times have you heard, Doc, where people are standing out in the hall and say, well, Mom would have wanted this, and the sibling says, no, she wouldn't, she would have wanted this, and the third one chimes in, well, you're both wrong, Mom told me this. But now if you have that advanced health care directive with that map, the kids open it up and say, hey, look here, it's notarized. This is what Mom wants.
Yep.
So really have that plan, and what is retirement, financial? I mean, do you have the finances to execute that plan? If not, what changes can you make now to get there? It's really, really important that you put your own choices to be followed rather than rely on someone else's choices and what you may or may not have wanted to happen.
And Miles, you're touching on the tip of the iceberg of what should encompass the whole plan. But it's important that we start launching into this because, plans like this take a long, long time to evolve and set in people's minds and set in society's mind. So bringing up this aspect of the legal part, having your paperwork in place, making sure you examine the person's home, as your crew always does. They go in and they look for all the unsafe areas. I mean, right now, California has a home care plan, a home safe plan that they're putting out. But this is to examine, is it a 2-story home? Do you need ramps? Do you need safety bars? Get the throw rugs and the hassocks out of the way, blah, blah, blah. But this is what needs to be examined. And then, like you mentioned, the finance. That all of this is the tip of the iceberg that is not yet well talked about. But you and I and Barbara have been talking about this for years. But it's molasses trying to get it to gain the momentum for a full discussion to take place. But that discussion is starting to happen. And as I mentioned earlier, Master Plan on Aging is out there now, and it will encompass aging in place. And what needs to be done as this aging baby boom generation starts to evolve and starts to have problems, we'll be able to handle them, not in nursing homes, but at home. And we just have to figure out the logistics and how we are going to do this, because right now that all these costs are really high, but is it really that expensive, or as society and taxpayers are we being nickeled and dimed, which I think is happening? We can consolidate, figure it out, and be the really efficient and effective for our seniors living and staying at home. So this is a part of what you're doing, Myles, and Comfort Keepers in Home Care is leading the way in this. And, I have great admiration for you and the group of people around you that are trying to do this for those in Santa Clarita.
One other thing, Myles and Jean, is it's so important to have a living trust made.
Yeah, that's part of the whole financial aspect. You do not want your stuff going into probate.
No, absolutely not. And that was what was so nice when Russ passed. We had a living trust. And he also had the healthcare directive involved in it. And one other thing is I had long-term care insurance, which he many years ago balked at, but I bought it anyway. And it was a lifesaver financially. It really was. But all of those things, when you have a living trust, you have the healthcare directorate, and all of those things play such an important part in your final days and your final death. It really does.
Right.
And I'm so glad that I have that in place now.
Well, it's important to remember, too, it's like, and that's why I encourage families and seniors to talk to an expert. Talk to, Kevin mentioned his counselors at the senior center, and we at Comfort Keepers are very adept to this, too, is because there's an old saying that I kid my daughters and everybody about, is we forgot about the roses. And what that means is, I don't know if anyone saw it, it's a forever old movie. There was a movie called Ice Castles with Robbie Benson, and I can't remember the beautiful actress who played the skater, but she was a world-class Olympic-type skater who got in a serious accident, and she lost her eyesight. So what they did is they prepared her, unbeknownst to the world, to go out there and do her routine blind. And she was phenomenal, and she fooled everybody, and she actually won the gold medal. And then what they did, and this is with a term we forgot about the roses, because they planned everything so meticulously. And when she won the gold medal, they started throwing roses out onto the ice rink. So now she's taking her victory lap, and she trips over the roses because it's the little things that bite. The little things that bite you. So, and that was one of the cutest lines in the movie. He goes and he picks her up, and the audience is starting to realize she's blind. He just says, "We forgot about the roses." and it's those little things that come up to bite you, and it's like even the advanced health care directives. I'm sure you've seen this too, Doc. Is they get the advanced health care directive, they've got all their agents named, and now the emergency hits. Everybody goes to the hospital, and guess what? Nobody has a copy of the advanced health care directive. So, I mean, once that thing is notarized, and you can make a multitude of copies. And we tell folks, we go, in our prep when we do home cares, is to have a go bag ready for you. So if, again, that, God forbid, instance comes where you have to call 911, you grab this go bag that has a copy of your advanced health care directive in it. It has a list of your medications for the doctors and the paramedics. It has maybe your favorite slippers, because if you get admitted in the hospital, they're not going to give you great slippers. I mean, whatever it is you want in this go bag, toothpaste, whatever. But the most important thing are the legal documents. I mean, a lot of times we suggest that you tape your advanced health care directive to the back of your front door, because the paramedics are quasi sort of trained to look there for it. Because you may have a DNR in place, and if they don't know it, they're not going to abide by your DNR. They're going to provide life-saving procedures. So again, once you do all that thing, don't forget about the roses. Make a copy of it. Put it in your glove box. Put it on the door. Put it in your go bag. Make sure every agent that you've named on there, because you're going to have 3 or more, that they have a copy of it. Because that's going to be the first thing that our medical professionals ask for, and it's not the hospital's fault. You can't shoot the messenger. They're just following the law. I mean, HIPAA privacy laws are so strict these days, that, they're just following the law. So don't shoot that messenger. Make sure you get the message and act on it.
That's very true. And, let's continue this conversation in a few minutes because we need to take a break. Okay? I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
There are many memorable restaurants in Santa Clarita, but 3 words stand out from the crowd. Mom can cook.
Mamá puede cocinar.
Mom can cook the best Thai food on this side of the planet.
Mama fait la cuisine.
No matter what language you use, Mom Can Cook says it all. Thai food at its finest, all your favorite dishes, and Mom's very own original specialties. Experience it on Soledad by the Canyon Country Post Office.
Mama 요리가 좋대요?
Mom Can Cook.
Consumers Furniture is back open for your business. The safety of our community and our staff, above all, is most important to us. We will provide a safe and clean environment for you to find the perfect piece of furniture for your home. To help you with your purchase, we are offering 25% off your entire order or 24 months same as cash financing. And for our awesome essential workers, we will deliver locally your furniture free of charge. Consumers Furniture is located in the Center Point Shopping Center, below Sam's Club and Walmart.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Myles McNamara of Comfort Keepers in Home Care. And let's continue this very, very important conversation, Myles.
All right. Well, to put a bow around it, we just, it's like you don't plan to fail, you fail to plan. So sit down with your family or whoever else is in your life that you would want involved, and create that roadmap, create that journey, get your advanced health care directive, designate your legal speakers on your behalf. Yeah. I mean, I was pretty much done with that.
Mm-hmm. Also, Myles, it serves as a guideline, what you're talking about, for our seniors and the caregivers and their loved ones to help them out as they progress toward the end of their life. And I think it's important that we're right now, like I told you, use the analogy with tip of the iceberg. That's where we are right now. And to have this understanding is really important. And this is what you bring to our community. You've done this for years now, but people don't seem to always understand what the importance is. But I'm trying to keep it in perspective so they do understand the role that is being played by Comfort Keepers in all of this, because you were the ones who started this all out. And through this show, we have had discussed these issues. But, in 5 years, 10 years, people will look back and say, gee, I've heard this before, because it would have come through Comfort Keepers.
Right. And one thing I do want to touch on as we're running out of time here is, that's planning for the future. That's having that conversation. That's making a plan. But I also want to say a quick something about the now. And right now what I see is, and I know we've heard it, and you're probably encouraging it, Gene, is the COVID scare right now is obviously very real, especially for our seniors. But now, keep in mind they're recommending, because it's hurting our seniors in the long run, is go have that, elective screening or that elective procedure to go in and make sure, you're getting whatever tests that you should have on a regularly scheduled basis, because I see a lot of our seniors scared to do that, and it can be done safely, and the hospitals and doctors and urgent cares are obviously taking the highest of precautions. But talk to your physician. Do not be putting off elective procedures or screenings, because that's going to come around to bite you as well. So I would really encourage, and maybe you have some input on this, Dr. Dorio, that you're seeing is make sure you have those screenings and your regular checkups.
And the other side of the coin is, there's a balance here as well, Miles, because we still have to make sure that seniors maintain their using their mask, maintain their safety distance, and coming together as groups. We want to see our grandkids. We want to see our friends, but we have to be aware. We are looking at still a very large number, even here in Santa Clarita, of virus that is out there. So despite the fact that you have gotten a vaccine, it doesn't make you totally immune. It helps. But if you get a cluster of virus around you, it could overwhelm your system and even your own antibody and immune system from the vaccine. So, let's not put our guard down yet. We have to keep up with, getting our testing done, talking by telemedicine to our physicians and nurse practitioners and PAs. We have to continue doing that. But we also have to have this awareness for us to be able to eliminate this whole virus from our society. There's still things that we have to do, and we cannot let our guard down. I always mention that don't spike the ball on the 5-yard line. That's important that we keep realizing that and not give up what we are doing right now.
Well, I certainly hope you didn't misinterpret, but I said to let your guard down. I was saying to have a conversation with your physicians and make sure. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But with your guard still at its highest, have that conversation with your physician and discuss the safety of having your elective procedure or your elective screening, because those things are very important as well.
Absolutely, there's a balance. In medicine we call it risk and benefit, and you have to be aware of that. These are the things that this decision making are the things that as physicians, I've done it for 40 years. And, I had to balance this all out. Now, each one of us has to use their experience of assessing risk and balance and benefits and making sure that you get things done, but you don't drop your guard. So it's an important time for, Santa Clarita and society in general to, as we move forward in this. We'll be over this, but, we want to be over this as soon, as fast as possible, with no one being injured or ill from this. So all of this is what you're talking about is very, very important to our patients and our community and for the public health in Santa Clarita.
And
but,
especially our seniors. Especially our seniors. And
Absolutely.
you know what, Miles? At some point, I'm going to need your help too.
Yeah, all of
probably not. Probably not before me, Barbara. Goodness gracious.
Oh, no. I think I'm a wee bit older than you are.
But on that note, but before we go, I just want to put out there that if anybody listening who has the heart and willingness to be a caregiver, you don't have to be a nurse, you don't have to have medical background. We train our comfort keepers because, we're having surging requests for service, and, we're always looking for great comfort keepers. We're always looking for folks that want to go in and help our seniors. So if you feel this is something that is in your heart and you would like to do, please give us a call. Come on in, and we'd love to have you as a comfort keeper.
What's your number?
We're right here on Lyons Avenue for the last 20-ish years. It's 661-287-4200. That's 287-4200. Or you go to comfortkeepers.com. But, yeah, our office on Lyons, we have a caregiver skills lab where we hands-on train all of our comfort keepers. And, so, we'd love to have you if that's something you see yourself doing.
Where on Lyons Avenue are you located?
Right next to the famous Docks Inn, 23900 Lyons Avenue. So it's between Docks Inn and Bricks. So, yeah, we're sandwiched in between two icons there.
Oh, 23900 Lyons Avenue. And
Yes.
your phone number is 661-287-4200. And
Correct.
your address is comfortkeepers.com.
Correct. I've also got a microsite that has videos that can educate folks and see if home care is right for them.
Great.
It's called seniorcaresantaclarita.com. So if you wanted to go to seniorcaresantaclarita.com, there's a few videos I put up there on an educational level.
Oh, that's Santa Clarita Senior
Senior,
Care
senior, Senior Care Santa Clarita.
.com.
.com.
Okay.
Great, Miles. Well, once again, I just want to reiterate so our listeners know the role that you are playing in aging in place and aging with a plan. I think these are all important that will allow seniors to enhance their quality of life. So we appreciate what you are doing, Miles, in our community, and keep that great work up. And I know you will, in conjunction with this station, our show, and Barbara and I. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Miles,
guys.
for being on.
Yes, Miles. Thank you.
My pleasure.
We are sponsored by Myles McNamara and Comfort Keepers In-Home Care, Santa Clarita Hearing Center, and Traditions Home Health and Hospice Care. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.